All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the dojo this morning. And this morning, I'm going to go over some weekly outlooks I have for this upcoming trading week. We'll do GJ, UJ, UCAD, gold, and AUD So I will start immediately. Top down analysis with GJ. GJ on the weekly chart, you can see our last point of resistance was right here at the 149,385 level. So that's weekly resistance, with weekly support being down here at 137, as you can see based on this chart. Well, the weekly also started trending down around this area. So going down to the daily, I can break it down and see what this trend looks like. And it's just A to B to C and the D. So we got a new A, B, C point to make our higher high. So higher low to higher high, pattern wise. So what I have marked up for this pair is simple. Since now we have found a level of support on lower time frames, I can now pull out my Fibonacci tool to project targets where we shall. Where are we going next? Where's that next higher high? That new D point. So with this pair right here, we can see that we're gonna reach 150, 629, and then the second target is 153, 263. With that being said, I can go now to the hourly chart and see what happened. Over the weekend, we had a gap that was filled, and this gap itself was the last point of resistance last week. So we had this point of resistance and then we formed a low. Having that print past here, you can see that we have printed past resistance, and then what happened was we formed a higher low to now break resistance on the lower time frame, which signals that we have valid entries on these lower time frames to overall go to our, projection based on this daily chart, which has a clean uptrend right now. It's very clean. That is where we'll start for this week on GJ. Now on UJ, let me get rid of all of these tools. You know how I do. I just get super analytical. But price is everything, so let's start at the weekly. Erase all of this. Erase. So my weekly charts, you see I have these key areas right here, and we're above our last key area. The weekly itself is bearish. As you can see, the trend changed over here, and this is more of a rising wedge or whatever you want to call it. But pattern wise, the way I see this is A to B, and we're now looking for a C point to go to make either a low or a lower low. With that being said, it allows me to go on to the daily chart, and on the daily you can see we're still trending upwards, and that's based on this daily chart. If we go to the 4 hour, on the 4 hour chart, we're about 100% retrace, or I would say maybe that's like 88.6. So with that being said, we found a level of support, which allows me to pull out my tool again, the best tool on the market itself. So you can see it actually had found most of its volume over here at 88.6, is 110.886. The market found support on the 4 hour time frame. Now with all of that analysis on the high time frame, it allows me to break down to the hourly. Last week we had the NFP come out, and we had a lower high here, and we had all of this at one point full, and the wick showed exhaustion. This is also a wick on a higher time frame, and that is a double confirmation to start leaving your shorts. With two exhaustion levels, that's definitely a reason to start thinking, hey, maybe there's not that many sellers in the market anymore. And at that point we had broke resistance, so we broke this level right here. I have a median price at 111.161. So with that being broken, the next pullback after we see that it printed past resistance is a valid entry. So I can even break it from the hourly to the 15, and you can see Basically, right now we ended this little low time frame counter trend, and we're pretty much valid for pullbacks now to enter on engulfing patterns to get overall to our overall target, which is based on the daily chart at 112,521, or we shall hit 113 again. We could potentially hit 113 again, and if we do, it would be even more of a reason to start thinking to sell over here. With that being said, I'm going to move over to UCAD, which has been a pain in my ass. But whatever. Here I have a lot more technicals, just market structure plotted out. So let me just go to my clean UCAD chart. And a quick little tip for you TradingView users is, like, I like to have one chart with the key areas and all my technicals, and then I like the second chart with clean, nothing there. I can just see raw price action. So breaking this down from the high time frames, you can see we're over here on the monthly, and the monthly has not been making new highs. We start making new highs over here at 136,379. Ever since then, we had this low, and we've just been trading up, and we had an engulfing on that month of January. So I would go to the weekly to just get a little more details. And with that being said, you can see it's kind of the similar pattern to that weekly chart on UJ, where we might actually just retrace 100%. But for now, the weekly is trending higher, but the overall trend on this chart is a downtrend. So bears will come back into this market. It's just a matter of what level. But you can see that on the daily chart, we had right here, we found support and printed past this lower high, and all of this was just counter trend, and we finally got some buyers in the market, and we had a good run. I believe this is like almost 200 pips, maybe. Yeah, 322 pips. So the next move on UCAD is we're looking for a nice little pullback to continue this uptrend. And I have a confluence area, median area at 133,100, I would say. So I would be very interested to see this market come to test this area. If not, you know, the real support level down here, 100% retrace, to then go ahead and form its next higher high, which is all within means of the higher time frames, you know. So if we do get the chance to make higher highs, the projection is here, which is very confluent with that level of resistance. With that being said, if I drop down to the hourly, you can see we already broke levels of support right here. So over here at 13447, we have broke levels of support. Ever since this was broken, we have been making new lows. So if you're looking for entry, you can drop down to the 15-minute and wait for the next retrace and take that engulfing and put your stop. Free trade for you guys. Now gold, look at the weekly chart. Let me just get rid of all of these things, remove all tools so we can see it nice and clear. What we have with gold is we have not broken past 1350 for a little while now, and with this engulfing, it just shows that there's possible continuation. And when you go to the daily, you can see that we already broke a higher low. So right now this chart is pretty bearish if we're looking for direction, and all we're going to be looking for is a continuation of that downtrend, especially that we have it confluent with the weekly time frame. So it allows me to hit that daily chart. You can see higher low broken, and all we're looking for, if not here but over here where the market originally broke that low, is a retrace, a push upwards to attract more people into the market to sell. Right now I'm not touching gold myself, but gold is it did break this level of resistance that it had. Everything on gold has been very low volume as of recent. So with that being said, wait for this chart is more of a waiting on my end. So next to AU, you can see that here we really need to see this push up a little more. I'm gonna pull out my fibs on this. To this level that broke support, the last place that it broke support. Where did it find support? Okay, right here at 1280, and it's respecting 38.2 right now. So if anything, I can encourage traders to go on a continuation pattern with our overall target at 1268 first target, and then second at 1252. This is confluent with the weekly level, so this level could be respected, and then we'll go up for a further retrace. But with that being said, that's what I have right now. Personally, I don't really see an entry for the sell. We broke support. We started breaking support right here. So we had support at this level right here, made a higher high, only after the higher high to now make our first lower low. So after that, you know, when the market goes from a higher high to a lower low, that we're looking for a retrace to enter the lower high. And if you had got the first opportunity was here at 1296, and the second opportunity was at 1297. So that's pretty much my gold breakdown. And if we get to AU, U is this. I got a nice clean chart. I did a new chart for AU. Going lighter on the blues. It's easier on the eyes. So monthly, you can see right here that AU is still on that pattern of making lower highs and lower lows overall in the monthly time frame. We're below the 200-day price moving average, and on the weekly chart we do have a level of exhaustion. However, we're still making new lows. Now when it comes to the daily chart, I have this little channel plotted on here to see potentially how steep this retrace will be. But right now AU on the daily chart looks like it's going to retrace. Most of these pushes were very high in momentum, so they did not get to retrace high. And I already see a transition on the lower time frames that are showing on the 4-hour chart now. So last week we had seen NFP basically brought this pair over here to 70 cents, and it broke this level of resistance it had that formed this low. So once we saw it printed past here, the next step is the retrace, which comes here to get the new higher high. So as for right now on AU is a buy and it's retracing. So what we can do for entry is break it down to the 15 and wait for a valid price reversal ratio to hit. As you can see right now on the 15-minute, we do got a valid pattern. Only thing with 38.2 is when it's respected, it's very high in momentum, and most of the time what I notice to see is 38.2s usually are like a level where it comes up and then it retests whatever it did on the lower time frames, and then it will come back down to the 61.8. So right now the 5-minute and the lower time frames are counter trending, so we're gonna look for that push back into the main trend using the 15-minute and staying safe with the 15-minute, maybe on the 61.8 level. That's a good level to look for. Whatever level it does, we'll be ready to adapt. So that's the moves for today. We're gonna be long on AU. This is the recap, and we'll be short on gold. And UCAD, we'll wait for a retrace to short the market again. UJ, we're looking to buy. We're just waiting for it to retrace on this low time frame so we can get a more precise entry. GJ is going crazy, trending upwards. We're already at 145, 515. So with GJ, we need to see some type of like pullback to enter, because if not, it's gonna happen this week. So let's just wait. But the overall look to be long on GJ. It's a very clear pattern. It's a very nice pattern. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. So you guys have a good one. And thank you for visiting the dojo. And if you do find this helpful and valuable, please like, subscribe, and share with your other friends and traders. And I'll be back possibly with a daily video, maybe midweek, a midweek review. So we'll do some weekly outlooks and then midweek to see where we're at with those trades.